Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, let's see what is model analysis and also let's cover the topic similitude. Let us also see what is the classification or what are the various types of similarities that must exist between a model and a prototype, and let's see regarding them in detail. Okay, so coming to model analysis is nothing but the study of models. Okay, we will be analyzing the models. Then what is a model? A model is nothing but the replica or the representation of the actual structure or the actual machine. Okay, this actual machine or actual structure is called as a prototype. So coming to hydraulics, we discuss them in terms of model and prototype. Okay, so what is the purpose of preparing a model? We generally prepare models for predicting the performance of the actual structures. Okay, if you're going for construction of any hydraulic structure like a dam or a spillway or any hydraulic machine like a pump or also a turbine, we generally prepare the models of it, and then we try to test the models so that we can assess the behavior of the actual machine or the actual structure. Okay, and if there are any errors or if there is any faulty design, then we can make proper modifications in the beginning itself. Okay, that's the purpose of making models. Next, coming to advantages of dimensional and model analysis, means just now as I've told you, let's see in detail what are the more advantages of preparing a model and testing a model. Okay, or what is the purpose of analyzing a model? The performance of the hydraulic structure on machine that can be easily predicted in advance from its model. As I've told you, once you prepare the model which is exactly similar to the prototype, then you test the model, then you can know how, or you can just guess, okay, like this the prototype will be behaving when we construct it. So you can in advance you can guess the performance. With the help of dimensional analysis, a relationship between the model between the variables influencing a fluid problem in terms of dimensionless parameters is obtained. With the help of dimensional analysis, you can try to establish relations between variables of the model and variables of the prototype. Okay, likewise, if you know the dimensions of the prototype and somewhere if you're missing with the dimensions of the model, then you try to establish a relation between them, and then you can guess the unknowns. The merits of alternative design can be predicted with the help of model testing. The most economical and safe design may be finally adopted. As I've told you, once you test the model and if you feel anything is faulty, or if there is any error in the design, or if you feel that this design is not effective, then you can change the design. Okay, like if you perform or if you're making a model of a small hydraulic machine like a turbine, and you're testing the turbine model of the turbine, if you're not satisfied with the efficiency, then you can change the design so that you get more efficiency. The test performed on the models can be utilized for obtaining in advance useful information about the performance of prototypes only if a complete similarity is existing between model and prototype. As I've told you in the first point, we are trying to predict the behavior of the prototype from the model, but this is possible only when there is a complete similarity between the model and prototype. Okay, so complete similarity means what? That's what is all about our similitude topic. Similitude means similarity. This is also called as hydraulic similitude. Similitude means similarity. And when I'm telling the word complete similarity, means similarity in terms of what is what we will be dealing now. So similarity or similitude is nothing but the similarity which is existing between the model and prototype, means the model and prototype must be exactly similar to each other. Okay, just in the case of size they should vary, but other than that everything it must be same. Okay, so in general, when I'm talking about complete similarity, we can't say what do you call vaguely, you can't say that complete similarity should exist. So technically these three similarities must be satisfied, or they must exist between model and prototype. Okay, they are geometric similarity, kinematic similarity and dynamic similarity. So now let's see in detail what are these three, which are very important. Coming to the first one, geometric similarity. As the word itself is specifying, geometric means the similarity is existing existing in terms of geometry, means in terms of dimensions between the model and the prototype. Okay, so see here, geometric similarity is said to exist between model and prototype if the ratio of all corresponding linear dimension in the model and prototype are equal. Okay, any linear dimension can be considered here. It could be length, it could be breadth, it could be width, it could be diameter, it could be height, anything, any linear dimension can be considered along with areas and volumes also in terms of geometry. Means all geometrical aspects of the model and the prototype can be taken into consideration. So let's see, let LM is equal to length of the model, BM is equal to breadth of the model, DM is diameter of the model, for all M is volume of the model, and obviously LP, BP, DP and for all P are the corresponding values of prototype. Then mathematically we say that this geometrical similarity exists between model and prototype when this relation is satisfied. LP by LM is equal to BP by BM is equal to DP by DM, which is equal to LR. So any linear dimension of prototype divided by linear dimension of the model should be equal to the corresponding other dimension. So length, width or breadth or depth, here you can add any other one, height also, HP by HM, like that. Okay, so the ratio of corresponding linear dimension of the prototype by the model is called as LR. LR stands for scale ratio for length or length ratio. Okay, so scale ratio for length or any linear dimension is given by the term LR. So LR will be equal to LP by LM, BP by BM, DP by DM, HP by HM, like that. Any linear dimension ratio of prototype to model. And you can extend this. I also told geometry means not only linear dimensions, you have areas and volumes also. So for areas, if you consider, it will be AP by AM is equal to AR, which is area ratio. Similarly, for all P by for all M will be equal to for all R, means volume ratio. Okay, and this AP can be written as, say suppose area in the prototype can be written as LP into BP, right? Say suppose if you are considering length and breadth, then area of the prototype can be written as LP into BP. Similarly, area of the model can be written as AM can be written as LM into BM. So your directly you can write AR as AP by AM, which is nothing but LP into BP by LM into BM, which is LR into LR, which is LR square. Similarly, our for all R means volume ratio will be for all P by for all M, which is AP by AM whole cube, which is LR cube. So what I want to tell you is scale ratio for length linear dimension will be LR, scale ratio for area will be LR square, scale ratio for volume will be LR cube. Next, coming to kinematic similarity. So what is kinematic similarity? Kinematic similarity is nothing but similarity of motion. The earlier similarity what we have shown was similarity of dimensions only. Here we did not consider any forces or any motion parameters, anything we didn't consider. Now let's come back to second classification, which is kinematic similarity, which is similarity of motion between model and prototype. How do you say mathematically this similarity is satisfied? When we say that this similarity is existing when the ratio of velocity and acceleration at the corresponding points in the model and at the corresponding points in the prototype are same. So what does this mean? Okay, I'll make you understand very easily. Now just try to imagine what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, now you have a rectangular box here, right, where you see my pointer, right? Assume this rectangular box to be a model. Okay, now assume this full screen what you're seeing. Okay, the full screen what you're seeing, which is also in rectangular shape. Let's take that, that's our prototype. Okay, generally our model will be smaller, right, when compared to the prototype. Yeah, so this small rectangular box is our model and this total screen is our prototype. Now if I consider, say, this lower left corner, okay, where my pointer is there, this is my first point where I'm considering, and lower right corner is the second point where I'm considering. Okay, this is point 1, this is point 2. So according to kinematic similarity, the velocity at this point in the model and the velocity at the lower left corner in the prototype. The ratio of them must be equal to velocity in the lower right corner of the model and the velocity in the lower right corner of the prototype. Are you clear? So VP1 by VM1. What does VP1 stand for? The velocity at the first point which we considered in the prototype, means the actual structure, by the velocity at the first point which we considered in the model should be equal to, again, the velocity in the prototype at second point by the velocity at the second point in the model. Clear? Similarly, our acceleration ratio will be AP1 by AM1 is equal to AP2 by AM2. Means again, acceleration at this point divided by acceleration at this point should be equal to acceleration at this point divided by acceleration of this point. That will be equal to AR, which is called as acceleration ratio. And the last one comes the dynamic similarity. So dynamic similarity means the similarity of forces. Okay. In general, forces will always exist, right? Especially when you're considering fluid problems, for sure you will be having forces. It could be any type of force, but there will be existence of forces. So you have to consider that also. You can't neglect that. So dynamic similarity is similarity of forces between the model and the prototype. This similarity will exist when the ratio of corresponding forces acting on the corresponding points are equal. Same example of this rectangular box and the total screen. So if I am considering the lower left corner here and the lower left corner of the screen, so say suppose I'm taking the example of gravity force. So gravity force at this point divided by gravity force at this point should be equal to viscous force at this point divided by viscous force at this point. Okay, corresponding points means same corners you have to consider. Then pressure force at this point divided by pressure force at this point. It could be any type of force, whichever is dominant, that forces we will be considering. Okay, and it's not compulsory that these all values will be same. So clear? So totally we will be having 6 types of forces. Okay, whatever might be, you have a very broader classification, but we in fluid flow problems, especially in model analysis, we consider all these forces to fall under 6 categories. Okay, and out of those 6 forces we will try to put up one force which is inertia force constant, and accordingly we will be dividing this inertia force with the other 5 forces, and hence we will be resulting in 5 dimensionless numbers, and based on these 5 dimensionless numbers only our model laws are designed or similarity laws are designed. Okay, this is what all I have already posted in the group in my channel. If you are free, just go through that so that you'll have a continuity. Okay, so that's all is about this class. So finally what I want to tell you is hydraulic similitude is very important. Okay, whether it may be any competitive exam point of view or whether it may be undergraduate point of view, you may get a question related to hydraulic similitudes, definitions of them or mathematical expressions of them. Okay, so try to remember, try to memorize them. So just go through the video. Still, if you have any doubt, you can just contact me through my mail. Okay, hope you all enjoyed. What I want to tell you is the continuation of this will be, as I've told you, different types of forces acting on a fluid flow or a fluid problem. Then continuation of that will be dimensionless numbers. Then continuation of that will be model laws. Okay, do check those videos. Thank you.